Hello everyone, and welcome to our series that explores every single tool in the myCADtools suite. Today we're going to take a look at a tool called the TreeManager. As you might have guessed, the TreeManager deals with your feature manager design tree. One thing to take note of though is that it only works with assemblies. But what the TreeManager does is it gives you a way to sort the different features in your tree based on all kinds of different criteria. The TreeManager gives you the ability to alphabetically sort every feature on your design tree alphabetically, either ascending or descending. You can assign colors and then sort based on those colors. And it gives you a way to easily suppress components, and then you can sort even based on that suppression. Finally, the TreeManager gives you a really easy way to add simplified configurations and manage the visibility of components by filtering by custom properties. So as I said, the TreeManager can sort based on all kinds of different criteria, hide and show and suppresses resolves components based on custom properties. We can sort the components in the feature manager design tree, and that sorting can be done alphabetically, by date of creation, or by modification date. It can be property based, and we can automatically assign component colors as well as simplified configurations, and we also have access to a detailed list of assembly constraints. So let's take a look at the TreeManager from the myCADtools suite. Alright, so you can see that we have this plunger assembly here. All of these features are not ordered in any specific way, and let's go all the way down. You can see all of these features here. So let's go ahead and open up the TreeManager tool, and that is right here, TreeManager. Click on that, and there our TreeManager tool pops up. So you can see on the left hand side we have all of the different options that we can do to this assembly. We can sort, we can hide show components, we can suppress components, and we can assign components a color. Let's focus on these first four options before we get on to list, configuration, and options. So the first one, sort, pretty self-explanatory. You can sort your feature manager design tree ascending alphabetically, descending alphabetically, ascending by creation date, descending by creation date, ascending and descending by last modified as well. So if you've ever been working in your assembly and you just worked on a component but your feature tree is so long that it takes a while to hunt that down, you can always just sort by the last modified, and that'll bring that last modified component right to the top. So you can see our arm left number 1 appears to be the last item that we worked on in this assembly. We can also do just plain alphabetical sorting, and then you can see every single feature is sorted alphabetically. This top section is pretty self-explanatory, like I said. However, I really like this insert in folders section. Let's say we want to put all the nuts and bolts into one folder here. Then we can just control select all the nuts and bolts. Go back to our tool, and I've already added our folder name nuts and bolts in here. If we create it, all of those selected features will be tossed right into that folder and easily sorted. I use the selection method, but you can also sort according to specific properties by clicking the plus sign, and we have some Boolean operations down here, and or, and we can select based on property, mass, volume, configuration name, document name, and then we have some conditions, is not, etc., greater than, less than, and you put your value in, add it, and then you can add all the features that fit that criteria into a single folder. You can also suppress them if you'd like to do that as well. So next we have hide show. We can basically do the exact same thing except for hiding components or showing components. We can either select all components or based on selection, control select again, and we can hit invert, and what that does is it hides both of those two components. And if I just control select both of those and hit show, they'll come back. You can also select all components or according to the properties, which is exactly like the sort properties, just a Boolean operation with properties and conditions and values. You can set all of that if you'd like. And you may be wondering, why is there an invert, hide show, and then show and a hide? Well, this invert just gives you the option to do the opposite of whatever state the component you want to show or hide is in. So if it's hidden, by inverting it, it will show it. You can also hit show, and it will do the same exact thing. However, this is more of an all-in-one control right here. So very similar to the hide show, we also have the status suppress, where we can actually go ahead and suppress components in our feature manager design tree. Once again, all of these controls are the same. Let's say that we want to go ahead and suppress according to certain conditions. Let's say, and any property, let's try mass, that is less than 0.0001 kilograms. And you can see our mass is in kilograms, so we have to make sure that our value is also in kilograms. You can go ahead and add that, click OK, and nothing happens, so we must not have anything that small. However, all of these options are available to you. So suppress, very similar to hide show, and very similar to sort as well. And finally, out of these four, we have the color. We can assign colors randomly or randomly by level to these components or by location. And then we can search to a location where those parts are and add the color that we have here. Or we can also add colors by properties and then suppress components based on the colors that were assigned to them. So these four options are going to be your main meat and potatoes in the TreeManager tool. But I do want to take a look at these last three options. First we have list, and this gives us the option to list all the mates of specific components. Again, we can control select, and I'm going to pin this down, and that way it'll stay put for us. So I'm just going to control select a few of these components. And then by hitting list, I'll be given a list of all the mates based on the nature of the mates of the selected components. We could also have the nature of all mates, but since we're dealing with the selection, this works best. Or you can list the mates of hidden components or suppressed components as well. Let's just go ahead and list these three components mates though, and you can see all of these mates are right here, just like they would be right here. However, if you do need to sort through some of these mates, then this is a great way to do it. I'm going to leave configuration for last and look at options next. You are given a few different options, like you can get custom properties or get properties from the active configuration. Get custom properties is just going to be a little more comprehensive. We can create a display status if we'd like. And we can have the program create a separate configuration of a component that's suppressed and give it a name. The default is just TreeManager, but you can change that to whatever. And lastly, we have the apply at a component level or at the part level. The final tab up here, this location, I suggest you just leave all this alone because this is where all the location of the text files that drive all of these commands are. So just do yourself a favor and just leave all of these alone. So the final thing I want to talk about is the configuration option. I really like this option. This is a really great way to create a separate configuration on every single component in your assembly all at once. So let's take a look at all of these components. And let's make sure that we don't have any other configurations. We just have the default on all of these. All of these are going to be the same. However, we can go ahead and create a configuration. And we can create that configuration for all components or just the subassemblies. I'm going to go ahead and call this new configuration Rev2 and add a comment. And then when I go ahead and hit create, it goes ahead and creates a configuration for every single one of those components. Now when I take a look at the configurations, we have Rev2. Every single one of these has Rev2, and then we can go into that different configuration and change whatever parameters we need. So a really cool tool and a nice feature on this TreeManager. So that is the TreeManager in the myCADtools suite. There's a lot of really nice functionality in there. So I hope this has been helpful, but if you do have any other questions, please feel free to email us at solidworksupport@mlc-cad.com, and we'll see you next time.